Hello, welcome back to the letter. I want to jump straight into this. Last time we were in the office, I believe. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. That's right, the rich blonde bitches. I believe they bought the house. The right. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
Buying it? We got a deal?
She swats at my hand, tugging at her sleeve, although her eyes alight with something akin to joy. She wants the sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here. The deal needs to be closed yet. The documents need to be signed still, but the elation is still there. Along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
They're rich.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
Oh, I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on? I'd haggled it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission, after all. Nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she is heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take me long to finish what she left me. In fact, having our boss sign the agreement in the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood to the entire office relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence in the lounge door. Her lips are twisted in a frown. She doesn't seem particularly happy to see me, and I'm not surprised. Who wouldn't be? I almost created a scene. Mr. Wright, however...
Why, if it isn't the little Lily? I trust you're feeling well now.
See, he's not as much as a dick as his wife.
It's Isabella, sir. Not Lily. I appreciate your concern. I'm feeling better now.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
I believe I can take that. Thank you very much.
Don't be a dick, ma'am. With how elegantly she plucks the papers off my hands, it's easy to think that there isn't any trace of irritation in her. But it is there, radiating off her stiff stance in the way she's standing at a fair distance from her husband, and how the two look to be ignoring each other. Seeing the scene, it soon becomes clear to me that I'm not the one who has put her in a bad mood. Did they fight? Most probably. Well, at least she's not a dick to us. Oh, she's still a dick to us, but at least we are not the cause. So it's not pointed towards us. We just happen to be in the crossfire. I've seen it happen dozens of times with my previous clients. It's a shame, especially with their new mansion. I never did like it when my own mama and papa fight. I hope they'll make up soon. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then? Are you really sure about this property, ma'am?
Don't make her change her
I
mind.
could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
She doesn't want a modern touch. Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, don't make a scene, we're almost there.
Of course, why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it. Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am. Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, servants or not, you're going to make people listen to your input nonetheless.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget...
She discreetly folds something into both of our hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips demanding our silence.
What happened the day before was quite unfortunate, but you did get us what we wanted in the end. That, at the very least, is commendable. But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this. Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us.
They're rich.
Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
Just accept the money. She smiles sweetly, like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact. Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible. I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling even after they left. Other agents would kill to have clients like them. A part of me feels lucky about the fact no lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, and a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Sure, the commission's big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization. Big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it will even keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well once the deal has been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that? Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money. Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, they're something.
They sure are.
So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Oh, it's sure memorable, alright. Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too. Aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
Why does she put her hand on her hip like that? I've never met someone who put their hand on their hip from that side of the hand. Like, people usually put the hand on the hip from the palm. Why? She slings an arm over my shoulders and leans closely to my ear, as though she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in a span of a few seconds.
Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have a very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of courtesy, I never pressured her on the matter further. But perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let us pass by because of the circumstances we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark and all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away.
Oh, he might have died.
He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one considers it taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry packing your lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe in fact Zach and Ash too. In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Alright, we are going to save here. Yes, we're going to save here, and the next episode we're going to go to lunch with Becca and Zach. So, goodbye.